Hi, and thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Joan Porte, and this is another one of our series of karmic looks through EA Zoom. Now, we did a program last year with EA, and it was on the North and South nodes. What do they mean? How do you use them in your charts? And a couple people who saw it on YouTube, thank you very much, and some of my clients said, that was good, it was a good start, but I want to get into it. I want to get in more into the nitty gritty. So I decided to break the North and South node energy up and just look at one of them. So I figured if we're going to start, let's start in the past. Let's start with the South node. So that's why I have entitled this, the South node, what to use and what to toss. So just a little bit of information on me again, because this may be your first time. I am an evolutionary or karmic. I do like the phrase evolutionary astrology because that's what we're doing. We're evolving. We're moving forward. You know, why come to Earth? Why come to reincarnate if we're not going to evolve? I've been studying astrology for about 40 years, and about 15, 20 years now, I got into this evolutionary idea. So what I do for my clients is I build a path to some sort of fulfilled life, where you're coming from, what the benefits of what you're coming from bring, what the pitfalls bring, and that's going to be the big piece of today, the South node, what you're bringing in, and then where you're going to, and that would be more of a North node thing. I have graduated from the soul sign evolutionary astrology courses, and I have taken courses in something I really love, which is ancient and medieval astrology. And so much of that is just, I mean, it's like, it's so relevant, even though the times were different and they had a little bit of a different interpretation because of the times. The mechanics of it are just fascinating. And I always say that charts are fingerprints. They're the fingerprints of time. They're the records, usually subconscious records, on our karmic memories. And that's the topic of today, this karmic memory. So it's a map. So as we tell this story of past and present, this kind of karmic map comes out. And I find the root causes of these blockages and the root causes of a lot of talents that we have, so that we could use these, you know, get rid of the negative, accentuate the positive, as the old song says, to get into a more fulfilled life. So that's what I do. I try not to do it in what I call woo-woo. I have a personal distaste for people who do charts, and all you hear is them saying, you know, the semi-sectile of the blah, 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 blah. I'm like, really? Really? That would be like a doctor coming in and saying you have a blah, 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 instead of saying you have a sinus infection. Let's demystify it. And I have done on this YouTube page a whole thing on my belief that we should demystify and how we demystify astrology. So as I said, we did a program on the nodes, okay? And now we're going to break it down a little bit. And today we're going to concentrate on the South node. So this is just the explanation. Again, this was in the original, that as the planets and the asteroids move around the sun on what is called the ecliptic, and the moon goes around the earth, it crosses this ecliptic. And the nodes of the moon is the points where the orb crosses the ecliptic. So the ascending or the North node is where it crosses from the south. The descending is where it crosses from the north. It's opposite, but you would know why if you visualize this. And you know, as I said, that's the end of the astronomy, but that is what a node is. It's this point. It's where they cross in the constellations. So this is a karmic blueprint. So if to find the South node on your chart, you would look for this sort of upside down horseshoe. Think of it as a cup of knowledge. So it's what we have accumulated. Now, the first thing I want to dispel, believe me, is this idea that it's bad. Oh, my South Node, I'm bringing in all this bad karma. First of all, there's no whining in astrology, please. I mean, I know some people have some charts that have a lot of work to do. I grant that. But if you just look at it and go, oh my God, I have to take to the fainting couch because I have this South Node and it's too hard. That's not going to work. What it is, it's just accumulated energy. The trick is not to get stuck in it. And that is the key to the South Node. Don't get stuck, because we're human and humans like comfort. And so we are naturally drawn to going back to how we responded in the past, what we did in the past. And you can dip in there and take a few talents here and there. But if you live your life that's supposed to be going this way by constantly going that way, and saying, well, I reacted that way to that situation in the past, so I'm going to just keep doing it. There's no forward movement. And that's the trick with the South Node. See the good that you have from it and use that to further your life, to get into your North Node and say, okay, this is energy that is no longer servicing me. I have to get rid of it. So our whole goal is to move into the North Node. And that will be the next one that I do, this whole idea of what the North Node means for you, but to use the good and the bad. So let's start with Aries, right? First sign, Aries ruled by Mars. So someone with a South Node in Aries, right, has a natural leadership ability, right? So Aries is the typical men are from Mars. Aries is the stereotypical male, self-directed, Western idea of masculine energy, right? I lead, I see, I am self-directed, I am, self-oriented, right? So survivors, right? They're the warriors. They are the leaders. They are the ones who say, I know what I need for my life. So I've seen a lot of people with Aries South Node who've had rather difficult lives, particularly childhoods, either where a lot of energy, a lot of negative energy they have to overcome, very difficult childhoods, or childhoods where they were given, too much. They had to grow up too quickly. But these Aries South Node people, for the most part, and all the ones I've seen, have been able to dig into that positive energy, that I'm going to do this. I see my goal. I'm not going to be wavered. I'm going to overcome this. So there are positive aspects of having a South Node in Aries. When someone gets too stuck, or when someone keeps saying, I'm going to respond to life situations the old way, right? That's what they need to leave behind. So I will go through a list of questions with all of my clients. But for the Aries people, I'll say, this is how you know how stuck you are in your South Node. This idea of being a control freak, right? It's my way. I'm the boss. How much is that creeping into your life? This needing to be right. Now, this is not quite as strong as a Sagittarian, as you will see. Sagittarius have to know. I know, but the need to be right because you're the boss. Right? It's my way. We do my way, highway kind of thing. I am the ruler. I am the father. I'm the big daddy. Whatever, energy is there. We just do it this way. I lead, you follow. Some Aries I've seen get very, very stuck in following other authoritarian figures. So they will go for people who do not have their best interests at heart, but they represent order, structure. Think of Aries as the warrior, right? So then think military structure. So I'm going to follow this person no matter what they do or what they say because they're the boss, right? It's a sort of a rank military kind of thinking. And there's nothing wrong with being orderly. But again, if you're following someone who is not someone who should be followed, if you did, because this is what we do, I'm not veering from this person no matter what, you could see where that could get you in trouble. And Aries, me, 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 me. It's all about me. It's all about my way. You know, an Aries person is me-centric. All right. Now, as we'll learn in the next Zoom class, Aries people are all moving to Libra. And so Aries is me, Libra is we. So it's the masculine self-direction versus the feminine socialization, right? So this, any way that you could look at this and say, oh, yeah, that'll tell you how much work you need to do to get out of these sort of knee-jerk reactions when life comes at you. It's like, I control, I lead, I follow this person, I do what's best for me, I put blinders on. You know, a road rage, you know, person is an Aries person. So again, judge how much of this you need to leave behind. But remember, accentuate the positive, the leadership, the self-direction, and eliminate the negative. And that will help you be more open to your Libra North node. Taurus, of course, this is ruled by Venus. So positive, artistic, right? Venus, the goddess of love, practical, tactile, creative, right? I often talk about Abraham Lincoln, and it just drives me crazy when people say, how did that country bumpkin get to write all those beautiful words? Well, he had a very strong Taurus South node. He was artistic. I mean, this is a country bumpkin who read poetry and who read Shakespeare and loved plays, and he wrote magnificently. He was taking all the good aspects of that Taurus South node and using them. That's one of the reasons he got so far. People who can use the positive to boost them into their North node are people who are on the complete right path. Negative aspects of Taurus that you need to leave behind is mega stubbornness, right? You're the bull. Taurus is the bull. I follow, you know, I'm just going to tromp along and you get out of my way. Gluttony. They are the epicures of the zodiac. Now, obviously, Lincoln did not have too much of that. Hoarding bad relationships. He kind of did that. But this idea of accumulation, right? So I have seen Taurus people. I had one Taurus person whose husband died and triggered something. And I didn't know her before her husband died. And I found out that she did not become this incredible, it was the first hoarder that I actually found in my life, to the point where you couldn't throw anything out. It became hysteria, and it triggered at her husband's death. Hoarding, holding on to, because Taurus is all about resources, all about protecting myself. Now, as we'll learn, Taurus needs to move to Scorpio. And again, looking at Lincoln, this idea of resource, you know, earth, putting food in my mouth, providing. He used the benefits of Taurus, the creativity, but he had his eye on his Scorpio North node, which is leaving the physical behind, a bigger picture, something larger than yourself. I am going to save the union, right? Very Scorpio, very mystical. I see into the future almost. I see that there is more than just this horrible war that's going on. I see the benefits of holding on to this dream, right? This non-physical thing of saving the union. So if you are a Taurus South node, you want to sort of relax your hold on stuff, on resources, on money, on everything I can touch and feel, to open yourself up to these mysteries. So what part of this are you leaving behind? And remember, you know where your South node is in your chart. Look at the cup. Look at that upside down horseshoe. Now, some particularly older programs do not have, they only have the north node, the cup going down. If you come across that where you don't see a south node, you just see the cup going down, just look directly across. They're always exactly opposite. So if your south node, if your north node, cup going down, is 1 degree Scorpio, you'll know that your south is 1 degree Taurus. They're kind of getting away from that, but some of the non-evolutionary astrology ones do not put in the south node, believe it or not. So positive characteristics of Gemini, ruled by Mercury. This is my south node. Talkative, communicative, versatile. I'll throw in good at multitasking, and I'll get to that in a minute. Nonconformist, rather charming. They're the raconteurs. They're the ones who have pushed information, right? Mercury was the god, the messenger of the gods. He would take the messages from the gods and bring it down to the mortals. He's the little guy on the FTD trucks, is Mercury. Speedy, always in motion, always bringing information, always, taking this bit and moving it over there. So this flow of information, this ability to talk on command, this ability to sort of see things in a way that other people don't do it, this trickster energy, this tasker of many taskers. Some things that Gemini needs to leave behind. Prevarication. Because Gemini just loves the talking, loves the argument, they can hold any side of the story. So you don't always know if a Gemini South Node person is speaking the truth or speaking what you want to hear or speaking what is going to get him the deal or her the deal. What's the deal with Gemini South Node? What are they saying? Everything that's truthful, that they mean from the heart? And that's a big learning. Say what you mean what you say, is a big learning curve for us. Mindless multitasking. Now, I have a heavy Capricorn friend who can do one thing at a time, right? The goat. One thing at a time, one thing at a time. And he does not believe that I can actually, read a book, listen to a movie, have the radio going, and still concentrate on what I'm doing. However, there are some Gemini South Node people, because I've had to learn how to use that, who are just like lost in multitasking. It's like, blah, 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 but I don't remember what I just said, don't remember what I just did. Yeah, I got that checked off my list, but, so having to focus is a big Gemini thing. Commitment issues. We got to keep moving, right? There's always, that's a little scary. You're tying me down. Got to keep moving. There could be a conversation over there that I could talk about, And because Gemini loves the Tao of money, as one of my teachers explained it to me, the flow of money, sometimes it's hard to keep money in our wallets. And that's something else I've had to learn. So again, the communicator, the raconteur, the charming person who knows a little bit about everything, the one who, you go into a party and you get people talking, you get sides put together. But this, I'll say this because it'll make you happy kind of thing. I'll be on my way, goodbye, I'm out the door. This mindlessness, this not focusing the monkey mind is a big aspect that we have to leave behind. Now, Cancer, ruled by the moon, is very emotional, right? It's sort of the mother, the mommy, the grandma of the zodiac. It wants to take care of everyone. It is a cardinal sign. A cardinal sign is a mover, a leader, doer, shaker. Aries is the first cardinal sign. Cancer is the second cardinal sign. So people forget, it's sort of like the mama or protective panda bear energy. They're orderly. They have a lot of executive ability. Again, because they see order and structure, and they want to sort of be the kind of executive that takes care, that opens and engulfs themselves to other people. I'm here for you. My door is open. So these are the positive energies, this motherliness, this ability to order, this belief in country and duty. It's a very patriotic kind of thing. But because it's ruled by the moon, right? That smother mother line, I'm going to do everything. I had to have a conversation with somebody with very, very, not only Cancer South Node, but Cancer rising. I mean, just Cancerian to the nth degree, who is killing herself, taking care of all her adult siblings and their families because she's got to take care of them. And I had to say, it's not your job. It's not your job. You look after your life. Don't, they have to learn to be big people, So this smothering, this, I will give everything to you, but I'll neglect my own needs because that's okay. They can be easy marks. This is something else I've seen where particularly a sibling could take money and money and money. And I'll take care of you. Even if it's detrimental to me, I'll take care of you. Cancer is the crab, so they'll retreat, right? Silence is lovely for a Cancer. You hurt a Cancer's feelings, I'm going to go into my shell, and I'm going to give you the silent treatment, and I'm just going to disappear, right? Where an Aries will smack you upside the head. Gemini will talk you to death, right? A Taurus will go eat a bagel, but they retreat. They go into that shell, the crab shell. And again, this wearing too many masks. It's almost like the martyring mother. Okay, I'll do this for you. I'll do this for you. My needs come second. So if you find yourself in that mode of smother mother, that mode of, I'll suffer, don't worry, I'll take care of you, my needs, that's what you need to leave behind with Cancer South Node. Oh, now Leo the lion, ruled by the sun, of course, vital, courageous, energetic, charismatic. There is no one more charismatic than a heavily Leo person, right? Because they shine the sun energy. They have vitality. They're the lion of the jungle, right? They're the ruler. They're the king. Here, come into my kingdom. Here's all I have to give you. Here's how you revolve around me, right? I am the courageous lion, not the cowardly lion. I'm the charismatic, energetic ruler. That's great. Leo overboard. Leo stuck in that thing becomes arrogant, becomes entitled, becomes vain, right? Because what does the sun do? It sits there, throws off the heat, right? I'm the sun. I'm sitting here. I'm throwing off heat. And all you people are doing what? You're revolving around me. You're looking at me. You're wondering, am I going to throw off sunspots today? Am I going to be hot today? Am I too far away from the sun? Poor Pluto way out there so that I'm cold. It's all about who? Me. So, yeah, I could be pretty arrogant. I could be very vain. I can be entitled and demanding because I'm the ruler. I'm the king. That's what, take that out of that cup. Use all the good stuff, the courage, the energy, the charisma, the leadership. Take this stuff out of the cup because you Leos, okay, are going from Leo, which is me, right, to Capricorn, which is the goat, the sturdy goat. I'm sorry, Leo goes to Aquarius. I need more coffee. It's not about me anymore. It's about the community, the group, okay? I did skip over, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Capricorn. Cancerians go to Capricorn. So they go from this idea of being someone who is mommy energy, taking care of the world, to the daddy energy, Capricorn. You do what I say, you follow the rules. So Cancerians have to get control over their emotions to face the hard realities of life. Leos have to sort of, step back and go to Aquarius, which is caring and humanitarian, and I'm going to disappear in the group, not stand out in the middle of the crowd and let everybody sort of ooh and ah over me. Now, Virgo, ruled by the asteroid Vesta, is the worker bee of the zodiac. Very health conscious. The sixth house that vibrates to the energy of Virgo is where we feed, care, work the body, put the food in our mouth, right? Do our work. I always say a Virgo is personified as sort of the secretary of madmen, right? The horn-rimmed glasses and the perfect gray suit and everything on the desk is perfect. They are, slim and trim and methodical and worker bee. And, someone with Virgo energy says, look, this is what I need to get done to live on this earth, right? This is how I have to feed myself. This is the work I have to do. It's a very down, like eyes to the ground, do what you have to do, get things done kind of energy. Virgo needs to leave behind a good deal of self-criticism. Even I've seen like self-hatred. I'm not good enough. I need to sit in the corner. Nobody wants to see me because I suck. This kind of deprecation of self can get out of hand. Victimization, Virgo victim. I'll let you abuse me. And I have seen it so many times with Virgos. They have people in their lives who just heap abuse, sometimes verbal, sometimes physical, sometimes emotional. And it's like, I'll keep going back for more because I'm the dutiful worker bee. That's all I'm good for, is to be your slave. And I've seen, if you see, particularly Virgo in the first, second houses, the house of personality and self-worth, you will often say to the person, do you have a feeling that you were like actually enslaved in a previous life? And I'll tell you, a lot of times they're like, yeah, I kind of have that nagging belief, this entrapment, enslavement idea. OCD, because I have to be perfect. Don't you understand? I have to perfect the world. And when you say to a Virgo, life is imperfect, you can't perfect the imperfect, it goes into a tailspin, right? So this idea, we see a lot of Virgos as cutters. I did a segment last year, I believe, on Pluto and the Pluto Virgo babies, because Pluto is a generational planet. That's when we saw cutting and of anorexia and bulimia come in when Pluto was in Virgo, because I am not perfect. I must be perfect. So this need to keep yourself based in body and food and the surrounding around you, without the realization that you cannot make an imperfect world perfect, can drive a Virgo to do things. And so they need to leave behind this obsession of perfecting the imperfect and in perfecting themselves. And how can I never be good enough? Because they're moving to a north node of Pisces, which is, hey, the world is weird. The world has problems. There's a better place in spirit, right? So open yourself. Oh, I always say to Virgo South Node people, pick up your head. Look, there's a big mystical world out there. There's spirit, there's other things, yeah, you got to take care of your body and your health and do your work. Sure. And you're good at that. You're a Virgo. But there's a bigger picture, leave behind this energy of, if you can't perfect what cannot be perfected, it's your fault. Now, Libra, this is the first time we can flip back and forth, because Aries rules the first house. All right. Libra rules the seventh. That's why Aries people are going to Libra. So it's the first time we cross the horizon. Libra, ruled by Venus. Venus does double duty because it rules both Taurus and Libra. I can't wait till we find the ruler of one of those so that Venus doesn't have to do double duty. So Venus, as we said when we were in Aries, what is Venus and Libra? Sociable, right? They're the people who socialize. Aries people are me, and they have to learn we, okay? sociability, gracefulness, balance, creativity, bringing people together. Venus in Libra sort of exemplifies the beauty of the feminine socialization, receptivity, right? Where Aries is, it's all about me. Venus is like, no, we need to be sociable. We need to receive energy from others. So there's a grace and a beauty and a charm. But Libra can be absurdly codependent, a false flatterer, like, oh, fiddle-dee-dee, I'm just to maintain my place in society, right? To maintain my social status. I will, hand out these little bon mots about wonderfulness and how wonderful you are. Oh, darling, and that kind of thing. Slave to the social calendar. Now, I have Libra rising. I have Gemini South nodes. I have Libra rising, a lot of air. And this codependence and this slave to the social calendar is something I still have to battle, because the rising sign is your personality. I've had to learn codependence, the lack, and what it is, and how to stop it, and how to compartmentalize, and how to be a little more me-centric. So where Aries is learning the good aspects of Libra, receptivity, sociability, Libra has to learn a little more of that Aries, hey, it's about me. If I don't really want to go out because this is really going to be, I don't like to do this. Libra has to sit down and say, do I really want to go to that social function or that movie or that whatever, or entertain these people that I've known for a long time? Oh my God, they're really boring. And the only reason I hang out with them is because I need to socialize with something, right? Do I really want to go out with them? Do I really want to go out with them at all? Do I want to go out at all? Do I want to sit in my fuzzy slippers and read a book tonight? That is this Libra saying, hey, excuse me, I will be in society because I'm a Libra, but you know what? It's on my terms. I'm learning the Aries art of saying I have to protect me. Now, we talked about Taurus having to let go of the physical and move to Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, right? So this is a very high intensity sign. They're sensual, they're strong, they're dramatic, they're inquisitive, right? They're the detectives of the zodiac. They want to get into secrets. They're very good at rooting out BS. Scorpio South Node people have BS-o-meters that are beyond reproach, dramatic, strong. I get that there's like this, I get the game of life, right? I understand it. But what they need to leave behind is being too dramatic, going for the big risk, holding back so much of themselves, this super secretive, where Taurus, their opposite sign, hoards resources, Scorpio sort of hoards themselves. You're not going to get in, you're not going to listen, you're not going to know anything about me. This drama, this risking of death, because Scorpio and Pluto, who is Hades to the Greeks, the god of the underworld, this is the house of death, dying, and rebirth. 8th house is where they live. So this risking death, right? Kurt Cobain, perfect example of someone doing the bad part of Scorpio South Node. I'm going to take, I think John Belushi was also Scorpio South Node. I'm going to risk death. I'm going to take drugs. I'm going to do this because death, I'm not afraid of you, death. And it's almost like they say, death, you're not going to beat me, which of course, hello. So they could take it to that level. Sexual perversions, right? The deep, dark secrets, the black arts. So somebody really in their deepest, darkest South Node of Scorpio is not a very sensual, very strong, just very dramatic, very sort of self-aware person. There's someone, breaking taboos to the nth degree, risking death, holding on to secrets, not letting any part of themselves out, just all about the drama and the flair and the passion I could ignite, whether it's for good or for bad or whatever. If I can stir up some fights and get things, that's fine with me, because I just need to live on the edge. That's what they need to take out of their cup and learn a little more of that Taurus being satisfied here on earth. Taurus in its beauty is someone who is appreciative of resources, appreciative of the beauty of earth, where Scorpio is always like, I'm going to challenge that. So we see how the one needs to learn from the other and get the other going. Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, our biggest planet, is a seeker. Hitch your wagon to the stars, a wanderer, a lover of knowledge, right? They want to know everything. Traveler, and that could be a traveler on the internet today, right? Sagittarius, 9th house, where Sag likes to live. Jupiter, they control the internet. They want to seek. They want to learn their philosophy. They're very curious. Right? So a lot of Sag people are good travelers. They're people who love the library. They want to soak up information, right? They're the knowledge seekers. Someone stuck in Sag, right? Now Sag is going to Gemini. Someone stuck in Sag says, I don't need, like Gemini, to communicate information or to get information from anyone else. Why? Because I know. And that is the 2-word description that describes Sag. I know. You don't have to tell me anything. I know. I have my philosophy that I've studied over many lifetimes, and it's a perfectly good philosophy. And it's not a philosophy that's ever going to change. And not only is this philosophy good for me, it's good for you. So I have a fundamental view of the world. This is right. This is wrong. I'm on the right side. So everything I think is absolutely right. Fundamentalism, living in a rut, because even though they have that adventure spirit, I can't go take that other class, because I may realize that there are things in the world that I don't know. And that freaks me out, right? I am in my little world. I'm a snob. I'm with the people that know everything. Right? And we see, because Pluto was in Sagittarius during 9/11, this fundamentalist belief. And we see the effects of that Sagittarius still playing out, even though Pluto has moved into Capricorn. I am right. This is my side. Your side is over there, and you are wrong. Do you understand me? I'm right. So Sag needs to leave behind that energy of, I got this, I know everything, and allow Gemini, because that's where they're going towards, to say, all right, I can open up, I can listen to that person, I can learn this new thing. So it's an opening up where Gemini has to stop knowing everything about everything and say, okay, I could sit down and read a really good book cover to cover, which, believe me, is a tough thing for Gemini South Node. I can sit and study astrology for months and months and months and months because I want to know that. I could focus, right? So Sag needs to open, Gemini needs to focus. Capricorn, the goat. Now, we talked about this with Cancer. Cancerians are the mommy energy, right? Their opposite sign is Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, sort of the daddy energy. People with a Capricorn South Node are ambitious, are conscientious. They like structure. They like sort of an authority figure. They are rule followers. I have hence a Capricorn South Node client who was looking for a job. She had two options, one with a very sort of prestigious, established organization, and one with like a community charity. It's obviously not as rigid. And I watched her, I'm like, oh, what's she gonna do? What is she gonna do? And being that Capricorn, she ticked right over to the very structured company, right? She was establishing that I'm a Capricorn, I need structure, and I can show my ambition here. If I go to that charity, I'm going to be doing good. This is not a bad person, but there's no room for advancement. It's like a 3-person office. There's no real authoritarian structure, and she was not yet comfortable enough to leave behind that Capricorn need, even though she would have been happier in the other job. Aspects of Capricornness to leave behind is depression. Capricorns are so ambitious, so goal-driven, so hard on themselves. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many Capricorns. I suck, I'm no good, I don't do this. I may have accomplished 9 things on my list, but I didn't do the 10th, or I did all 10, but they weren't perfect. So I'm just going to go sit in a corner because I suck no matter what I do. You know, this kind of dourredness, this, you know, what was that movie where the guy was old as a kid and went young? That's Capricorn. Is that Benjamin something? This like little old man, little old lady. I got to carry the weight of the world on my shoulder. I'm a goat. Everything is serious. Everything is dour. And again, I'm never going to be good enough. I suck. So Capricorns need to learn to let a little bit of that mommy energy in, to get out of this duty and order and structure and into their heart where they could help people. Where my Capricorn South Node client, who decided to go with the company, the authoritarian company, yeah, she got her goal, but she said, I'm really not happy there. I fit in, you know, I'm doing everything right. I got promoted. And she said, I see now that if I had gone with the company, that would have given me the ability to care. You know, maybe not so much money, maybe not so structured. I would have been more Cancerian. And that was her learning curve. She had to understand that for herself. Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. And remember, their opposite sign is Leo, right? So Leo is, hey, me, right? Uranus, Aquarians are compassionate. They're free-spirited. They're revolutionary in that they want to be involved in events that help humanity. They're innovative. They think outside the box. They're 20 years ahead of all of us. They're smart as whips. It's like, you know, electricity is Aquarian. So they have this electric mind and they could see way ahead, and they're very innovative and very compassionate. President Obama, Barack Obama, is a South Node Aquarius, right? Certainly revolutionary, innovative, healthcare, compassionate, free spirit. I mean, look at his childhood. Look at his ability to say, hey, yeah, I can be the first African-American president. I can do this. What they need to leave behind is this feeling of not knowing their heart, right? So they need to learn Leo, the lion, compassion, the heart, right? Leo, as gregarious and snobby as it can be, is heartfelt, the heartfelt leader, Coeur de Leon, right? Where Aquarians, they live in their head. And people say, oh, why isn't Obama like Clinton, where he feels your pain? Well, look at Clinton's chart. He's got Leo rising. He's got 1,000 planets in Leo. Obama had to learn, did he, to get off? And, you know, he said healthcare is good. We all should have healthcare. In my head, I know healthcare is good. Why do I have to go out there and convince these people on Congress? Because you should do it. In his head, professorial head, this is what we should do. So the idea of this detachment from the heart, I don't have to get emotionally or heartfelt involved. This is what you should do. I'm so darn smart because I'm an Aquarian. I could see light years ahead of you people. So getting out of your head into your heart is a huge Aquarian task in this lifetime. Living in the present. I thought it was very interesting. And I love President Obama. I'm using him as an example. I love him to death. But his book was Dreams of My Father, Lost in Your Dreams, right? They see, you know, again, 20 years, light years ahead of us, but they have a hard time like coming down to earth. They're very good. Aquarians are very, very good at, I'm going to be involved in a social movement that I'm going to get everything done and make the world better, right? They're not very good at saying, I'm going to go have dinner with you. I love mankind, just really don't like my neighbor. So it's this detachment that they have to overcome, this lack of heart energy, this living in the head, and this just assuming that we're all just as darn smart as they are. Our last sign is Pisces, ruled by Neptune. Now Pisces opposite sign is Virgo. So if you're coming from a Pisces South Node, You have a dreamer quality. You have, again, a very spiritual quality, because Pisces is the old soul. Pisces has been around the block. They have karmic knowledge of spirit, and life is a better place, and spirit is a better place. And so they're very dreamy. They're very, oh, que pasa? I know that there's a better place out there. They are not humanitarian in the sense of Aquarian, like I'm going to get involved in something, but they have a deep compassion for people. They care deeply for people. However, Pisces can be escapist, because you know what? I know there's a better world out there. And I know this world is really imperfect and kind of sucky. So I'm just rather live in my dreams, right? Walter Mitty, my God, was a Pisces. Martyr, right? I'll take on all the karma. I'll suffer, because you know what? Life sucks anyway. And so I'll let you do whatever you want to me, because I know eventually I'm getting out of this life, and I'll just, okay, do whatever you want for me. I'm not worth it. And because of this escapist element, there's an addictive element. And I always tell people, look to Elizabeth Taylor for the perfect Pisces, right? Compassionate. She had those dreamy, beautiful Piscean eyes. She was out there supporting her gay friends in the 50s. She was ahead of the curve on AIDS, this deep compassion for people. But she was addicted to men, to alcohol, to food. She stayed in treacherous relationships. She had health issues that some people say were caused by, again, just not taking care. I don't care, I'll suffer kind of thing. And she had the aspects of both. Now, those of you with a Pisces South Node, again, need to come out of that cloud, where I tell Virgos to lift their heads up and see a bigger world. Pisces is stuck up in this bigger world, this dream, this wonderful, they're on the cloud with the harp. They need to come down and take care of worldly things, because you know what? Yeah, spirit is great, but you live on earth. So you need to take control of your body, not escape into whatever your addiction is, from gambling to drugs to men to women to whatever. And you need to take control of the physical life. So they need to learn those benefits. So that is a run around the chart kind of analysis here. I do these professional analyses. My website is joan@joanporte.com. If you do a chart from me, you get like a 60 to 90 minute audio on your birth chart or yearly updates. There's my email, joan@joanporte.com, or joansastrology@joanporte.com. My website is joanporte.com. My techie made it very easy. He says, why don't we just use your name? I didn't know you could do such a thing. So it can be easily remembered. So I want to thank you all. Next time we will do a North Node look and see, we're leaving behind. Remember, this is the cup this way. We're leaving it behind. Take out the good stuff, dump the other stuff out, because what we're going to do now when we go into the North Node is refill the cup with the knowledge and the movement, the evolutionary movement that you're going to get in this lifetime. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.